Hi guys, today we're doing something different. I'm making a tier list for Japan Ground Forces Rank 1. This is for a realistic, so I don't play arcade, I don't know how tanks there perform, but I would assume it's completely different story. Now, because some people need to hear this, to me it's logical, this is my opinion. Now, if you don't agree, say in the comments, what don't you agree, what would you change here? Maybe you'll change my mind. On some tanks, definitely not. Also, one thing I need to say is I will compare these tanks to, other tanks in Japanese 3. So how good is this, let's say Kenny, how good is Kenny how good is Kenny in Japanese 3? That's it. Because let's just use an example. Let's say I would put Kenny in A tier. If I would compare this tank to, let's say, Russian BT5, American M8s or M2A4s, this tank would go almost immediately one tier down. No, if not two. But yes, I'm ranking these tanks to how good they are in their own tree. Now let's start with 1.0, reserve tanks, and then we'll go up from here. Aigoko. Well, this is your first reserve tank. It's slow, it's limited to 27 kilometers per hour. Man, this is what kills this tank. Now, zero armor, this goes for almost every tank on this list. You have this heat launching ammo with 55, I think, penetration. It's not the worst, but it's not anything, special. And if you don't hit perfect hits, if you hit track, wheel, doesn't matter. It doesn't work. And that's why I think this is D tier. It's one of the worst tanks in rank 1 Japan. Then we go to Hago. Now, this tank was actually removed. It was removed for new players. Imagine that. The tank is considered so bad that the new players can only get it once they reach the rank 2. That's it. Do I agree? I don't think so. I would do that much sooner for Aigoko. The only reason why I think they did this is because of 34 penetration. You have this 37mm cannon that the penetration is just terrible, and even if you do penetrate, most of the time it's not doing any post-pin damage. It's like, in one video I said it's like you're farting in there, and that's how it feels with this tank. Now it's fast, 48 kilometers per hour, it's not bad, but it doesn't save this tank from, being bad, and yeah, that's my opinion. Now where do I put it? I don't think it's D tier, not even close. Now I'm between these two, but for now let's put it in here. Let's put it in C. Hago Commander, premium version, it's the same for 250 gold, it's the same as the Hago, but you have 4 smokes on your left side of the turret. That smokes fire sideways, you need to turn the turret to your right if you want to smoke in front of you, and in this battle rating the smokes are useful. I played like 15-20 games with this tank. I don't think I used them once. It's just not good. Maybe if you want to cross something, then great. But this doesn't deserve any better spot than the Hago. But definitely it's in front of it. So, I list them like this. From left to right is from the best to worst. Then we go to Kenny, and this is another reserve tank. Now my question to you is, why would you ever play Aigoko when you have Kenny? Why? You start with these 2 reserve tanks, and let's just say this, it's not B, it's not A, it's S tier. Maybe you could argue with me and I will put it to A, but I think it's S for now. Why? Well, it's basically Hago, a little bit faster, not much, top speed is only 50 kilometers per hour. You're small, sneaky, fast, and you have better gun. You have 47, I think. yeah, 47 penetration on this gun. The difference is not much, you know, 34, 47. This is like 13 penetration. In this battle rating, this means so much. So much. And this penetration just allows you to, you know, play the game much better. It's amazing. Till now, I think all tanks have like 3.3 seconds when you have max crew, so, you know, this is the same. A truly amazing tank. I've played just this tank, you know, to go through. If you don't want to play other tanks, just to see how the other tanks are, there's no reason to ever play Aigoko. Play Kenny, that's it. So Kami, I could describe this tank as worse Kenny. The gun is... it uses a better shell, that's it. APHE with, you know, it goes from 47 millimeters of penetration to 57. That's, you know, that's fine, everything's cool. What is worse is speed. You're much slower, even though your top speed is not, I think it's 40 kilometers per hour. It doesn't feel only like, what's that, 20% slower. It doesn't feel, it feels like half the speed of Kenny, you know, up the hills, when turning, stuff like that. I don't like it. It's bigger, it's boxier, it has even lower armor, you know, not that it matters, but I think it has 7 armor or 10, what's that, you know, nothing. So yeah, because of that, the gun is just not worth it, and it's not Hago here, it's not C. I don't think it's B either, so I'll put it in A for now. Maybe I'll change that, change the order later, but for now, this tank is here. And we go to 1.3, and you know what? Immediately after I've seen this tank here, I'm thinking, yeah, these two doesn't deserve C. Let's put them at B. And let's just, before I even speak about this tank, yep, that's what you deserve. Maybe you can even go right here, but I don't think so. I don't think it's that bad. It's basically, you know, it uses the same gun as Aigoko, same penetration at 1.3, and also you're meeting 2.3 tanks, doesn't really matter that much. What's the big difference here is speed. 27, and I think this goes 40 top speed. The problem with this tank, you're reaching 27 much more frequently than with this. Man, if you go watch my video on this tank, I was losing my mind. It's a slight uphill and this tank is struggling like no other tank. I don't know what's up with this, but it's a straight upgrade. Straight upgrade. If this is D tier, I don't think I should put this tank at D. I think it's better, and that's it. But it's still, you know, when you have these 4 tanks right here, I don't think there's ever a reason to play this tank. Then we go to first SPAA in Japanese 3, and this is Type 94. Now this is, you know, Russians have their milk trucks. You have this weird thing. Now Russians have 2 drivers in front, you know, driver, co-driver. With this you only get driver. So what's bad thing with this tank is, well, your gunner and commander at the back are fully exposed. All you need is one guy to tap machine guns a little bit. You're dead because you only have 1 crew member at the front. And when you have 1 crew member, you die, so... I don't know why they didn't put co-driver or however it's called. I don't know, but... this is bad things. And oh, yeah, you can't shoot in front of you, you know, because the gun can depress over your cabin or cockpit, whatever it's called. Now good thing, you have this auto cannon with 20 shots, 48 millimeters of penetration. 20 shots, the same penetration as Kenny. This is amazing. You can fight every single tank in this battle rating. You can fight planes if they come, you know, to you, but yeah, if someone's good with plane, you're dead. But you can defend yourself, so that's a good point. And yeah, I think this is all I have to say for this tank. If you find a little rock to, you know, drive backwards and you have a little bit more cover, this tank can be fucking amazing, truly. But Truly amazing. Now, is it better than Kami? Yep, I think so. So, A tier for Type 94. Then Horo. Now this is your Sturmpanzer for Japan. It's 150mm cannon, it's 7 kilograms of explosive with high explosive. You know, I don't have anything to say in terms of how fun it is to play this tank. But it's not competitive. It's just not. The 13.3 seconds with your max crew, so most of you will have like 14-15 second reload. It's just too much. You fire at a guy and then you're being pushed, you're being strafed by planes, you're being machine gunned down. It's just not consistent enough to put this tank, in my opinion, in S tier or A tier. So for now, let's do it like this. Oro, I would say that it is better than Hagos, but bitter. Then we come to this pile of shit. Oh man, I can't even look at this tank normally now. I was forcing myself to play for a video of this tank because I see the potential that you can get with this tank, but it's just not happening. It's happening in like 1 game out of 10. This is trash consistency. You're slow, so Rogo platform, I think you're limited at 23. You're very slow, you big, you don't have armor, you're considered heavy tank but you don't have armor. And then you have this 37 gun down here. It's the same as on Hago. And then you have this 70mm cannon with heat. You have APHE or heat. Well, APHE, I've tried using it. It has 221mm of penetration. It's one of the worst in the game. It's beat by French ammo, that's it. I think it's terrible. I've played it a lot. I didn't find a use for it. Now you have heat, but that heat has like the biggest drop I have ever seen in this game apart from Avre they've added. It's just terrible. I struggle to hit people on 200 meters. Now imagine new player with this tank and it costs 1370, I don't know what's such an odd number, but 1370 golden eagles for this pile of shit. I don't do it, don't buy it. This is definitely right here. This tank is pile of trash. Even at, I'm thinking if I should say this, I think even at 1.0 this tank would be bad. I mean, tell me which, you know, some tanks would struggle like Italian ones or French ones, but this is like known issue with low tier Japan, Italy, France, terrible tanks. But yeah, with other nations wouldn't have a problem with this tank. Truly horrible tank. From one of the worst tanks in Japanese 3, we moved to one of the best. Tase. Everything I said about Type 94, well, with this tank, all that get fixed. You can fire at the front, you know, depress your gun, no problem. You are fast, you don't have wheels, you know, sand, snow, uphill is not a problem for you. You're a little bit better protected. Everything else is the same, gun is the same. S tier, right here. The best Japanese rank 1 tank in my opinion. Till now, we'll see one better. Then Rogo Experimental. And, you know, it's Rogo Experimental. Maybe you think, oh, I will put down here. Nope. Platform, the same 23 kilometers per hour top speed. It's truly not good, but with this setup I don't think you need much more. I don't think it's such a big issue. Of course it would be nice if this tank could go 60 kilometers per hour. You know, that would be perfect. But 23 I think is enough. With this tank what you're doing most of the time is firing long range. This 120mm cannon allows you to... it has no drop. Almost no drop. Even very bad players can pick this tank up and, you know, make accurate shots on long range. The reload is not as big as on Horo, so that's why I think it's much better. It's survivable for some reason, even though you're totally open. In the background, you're seeing gameplay. I've had a game. I just went with every single tank. I went game or two, so I have some gameplay in the back. And with this tank, I've managed to get like 13, 14 kill game with it. Not sure, but you'll see in the back. Definitely amazing tank. I'm rating it A tier. I think it's even better than the Type 94. It's more consistent. It's better in... Maybe you need to know a little bit how to play with it, you know, where to go, where to position yourself, but I think this is amazing tank. Now, first 2.0 Japanese tank in rank 1. Hawaii. Now, this is basically Chiha. No, it's Chihe. Yeah, it's improved hull with 50 armor. You also have 50 armor in the turret, and then you have this 75mm cannon that was basically designed for fortifications, bunkers, so, you know, fortifications in general. And in this game, this tank is good. It's good, and why? You know, 75mm heat launching cannon. You can even use APHE. It's good because you finally have some armor. And people are just bad in this battle rating. They don't know where to penetrate you, so you can finally bounce some stuff. And it's so refreshing to not constantly die to every single shot at you, you know. And that's why I think I don't have any more to say for this tank. A tier. I think it's better than the Rogo Experimental. And then we go to the last tank in Japanese tree, and this is Kachi. No, I don't have this tank. Let me be clear here. But I've seen videos of this tank. I've seen it in battle. This is... just kidding. Yep, S tier. This is the best Japanese tank in rank 1. So much armor at the front, you know. So many tanks in this battle rating don't even have enough to go through this first compartment. So this is just ridiculous. I truly want to get my hands on this tank, but I think, you know, you can in the comments tell me if you have this tank, what do you think about it? Do you think it's up here, or do you think, you know, I should move it down? But I think people will agree with this. So this is it. S tier, Kachi, Tentase, Kenny. Here you could, in my opinion, argue with this. You could even say this, you know, maybe Kenny below Hawaii. I'm rating it like this. You know, of course, this tank is better than this one, but it's 2.0, so I'm rating it tier for tier. Then then Rogo Experimental, Type 94, and Kami, you know, Wars Kenny. Horo here. And then you could do this. I think you could do this. You could also do this, but I think I'm doing it like this. Oro Hagos, because they're not bad. I've had plenty of amazing games with these two tanks. The speed really saves this tank. If this tank would go like 27, like Aiguko, this tank would be down here. Now I think it's for the B tier. Middle. Nice middle. Then C. Chiha. I really don't think this tank could ever go up here. So I think it's between these two. I'm putting it here because it's just better Aiguko. Then Aiguko, it's just not good enough. It's not. You can make it work, but you know what? Let's say it like that. Let's say you play 10 games and you go, how many good games do you have in that 10 games with a tank? These tanks are like 9 out of 10. You will have good game. This is like 7 out of 10, maybe, you know, 7, 8. This is like 5. This is 3, 2, and this is just 1, or even not that. And this is what this tank is. I truly think so. And no matter what tank you're meeting, it outperforms you. Maybe FCM 36 or however it's called. Some tanks, you know, like I could count them on my one hand. Truly not good tank. And then to this tank. This is the problem I'm having right here. This is the biggest problem. Because when I was playing this tank, when I was making a video for this thing, I couldn't decide. When I started playing it, I thought that it's like here. Then first I thought, it's bad luck. One of those days that you come home, you're excited, you want to go play War Thunder, you open the game, you go first game, you die. Second, third, you're just dying. You're like, oh my god, I have my whole day to play and it's not going well. That's what I thought I had. After, second, third game of playing this tank, I was like, you know what, maybe it's not unlike. I've had games, 1, 2 game where I bounced something. I did a lot, but the more I played it, the less I thought about this tank. I think it's pile of shit. It can work, but too many things need to go your way for this tank to work, and that's why I think it's the worst tank here. Even with this tank is, I have good games with it. I truly do, but I still think it's bad. This tank, even less times I'm doing good than with this tank, and that's why I think, this is my tier list. In the comments, if you're not agreeing, please, say why not. Fuck you, I don't agree. You can do much more with 2 guns. You can outplay, you can bait people. I don't know, it's your opinion, and maybe I'll change my mind. I'm sure not 100% fixated on this, I could change my mind a little bit, but definitely this is not going up here, or you're not changing my mind that much, maybe this is it. Maybe I can do it like this. Yeah, nice full screen. Now please tell me in the comments, if you come this far in the video, how do you like this kind of video? I always love them watching, from other content creators. I think tier lists are 20-minute content for something like this. Maybe, it should be a little bit less, but I talk a lot. For me, it was always amazing. So please tell me in the comments, how do you like this sort of thing? And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a very good day and goodbye.